I think it's time we try and fire this thing up. What do you say? Probably not. All right, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can't get this thing to turn over by hand. And then we'll probably pull spark plugs, check the points, do a test on the coil, check all that stuff. Take a quick look at the oil again, see where we're at. So let's get to it. All right, let's start by checking the oil again. You guys can see that it's thick. It smells a little like fuel. Dipstick is definitely a little crunchy, but we're over full. Yeah, we're like way over full. That may or may not be a good sign. I don't know. All right. Let's see if we can't get this thing to turn. I'm hoping. Uh-oh. Oh. That's not good. Nope. That just loosened the crank bolt. Okay. Looks like we're pulling the plugs. Well, I guess the good thing is that this engine had the spark plugs in it the whole time. So hopefully there was no water in there. Very dark. So with the plugs in it, I'm not expecting to find any water in there. So I'm hoping it's not like, I don't think it's hydro-locked, but there's a lot of oil in the engine, in the crankcase, which, I don't know, could be a problem. Plugs are coming right out. That's good. I mean, maybe the starter seized, locked in place, but I don't think so. We'll find that out next. I don't know if I'll be able to see anything down in there. I don't have one of the fancy boroscope digital camera things. It's got the auto light plugs in there. It's been so long since I've worked on a Slant 6. I have to make sure those are the right plugs. Because I just don't know. We may end up taking the valve cover off, take a peek underneath there, see if there's anything going on. Might give us a little information if we do that. There's a lot of stuff in these plugs. This is number 6. I mean, there's stuff stuck in there, so that's, I'm not happy to find that. Yeah, let's see if we can't crank that thing now. I don't think this is going to change anything. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, I'm going to pull the starter off now. Oh, that's going to snap. You get a little juice on that. That's stiff. It's the blaster. Gotta do this. Yep, there it goes. Oh, at least we got something we can grip. All right, let's just drop this out of the way a little bit. We got the breaker bar. This should give us a little something something on this side. Or not. Oh, that moved. I think it moved like a tooth worth. Yeah, there it went. It moved. Let me see about on the crank pulley again. But that definitely moved. Well, a little bit of prying in the back, and I got some movement. Yes. It's a good sign. All right. It's moving. It is moving. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, we got it moving now. It is unstuck. I'm going to put some PB Blaster, some juice down in here in the cylinders, lubricate the top end a little bit. Figure I want to get some of that in there now, lubricate the cylinders since it's so dry before we keep dragging them rings across the cylinders. Okay, that's a hard stop. Why? Is it just where I'm cranking it? Went back. That's good. Went backwards. Let's come back this way again. Oh, hard stop. Why? I don't know. Go the other direction. I think I might. Let me take this fan off. Whew. All right, it's a new day. Back at it. Let's pull that valve cover off and see what's going on underneath there. I'm hoping there's not a valve that's dropped down in there, blocking the engine from spinning completely over. But let's get that cover off. Oh man, we got rustiness under here. Rustiness, crustiness. Looks like all the push rods are in place, so that's good. So maybe we got a condition of just stickiness. All right. Not sure what's going on yet. I think I'm gonna grab a vacuum cleaner, get all this rust out of here, and see about moving the engine around. All right, let's try and crank this thing around, shall we? Got as much vacuum out of here as possible. Go back the other direction. Watch the valves move. Okay, these ones are coming up. That's good. That's good. Hard stop. Let's go back the other way. This one, I think it's number 2. I don't think this intake valve is coming up all the way. Hard stop again. I don't know. I mean, the intake valve is still down a little bit. That was a lot of play there, but none here. Okay. Let's get a little mallet. Maybe tap this and get this rocker to move. I don't think it's doing anything. It might be holding the valve up. That's good. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Oh, yeah. With just a little bit of that, holding it up. Okay. We're moving. Oh, look at that. We've gone 360 all the way around. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, I am happy now. Much, much happiness. All right, I'm gonna get some juice and kind of just drench this, and then I'm gonna spin this around a few times just because I can. Juice it up. There hasn't been oil on this top end in, yeah, 8-9 years. Beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, let's crank it around. All right, I've got spark plugs out. Autolite 66s. Well, I don't have any 66s on the shelf. I got some Autolite 53s. I'll pop them back in a little while. But first, let's take a look under the cap and rotor. Take a look at that down here. It's fine. I'm going to clean that up. Don't worry about that. It'll be okay. Let's see. Rotor. Yeah, we'll clean that up. It'll be okay. Let me bring it down close. Hold on. Yeah, we got some crustiness there. I think it'll be fine. I do have some points and condensers kicking around. I think I might just take a little piece of fine sandpaper, clean up the tips of the points first, and go from there. I'm going to check the coil now, get out a meter and see if it's good or not. It's probably fine. Probably, maybe. Extra wire going to something here. Goes that way, this goes that way, this went to something, who the hell knows? Pardon me, who the heck knows? Oh, we got to connect the oil pressure sender before we do anything like seriously firing up. And oh, somebody put the ground strap right to the valve cover bolt. Wonderful, just like it's supposed to be. Don't worry about that. All right, let's clean that up and check our coil. All right, we got the multimeter out here, and I had been using this cable on the multimeter for a long time, and I had repaired it. Too much resistance, so that was throwing my readings off. So our primary, measuring on the 20K ohm scale, and we're at 10. This is okay. If we move it to the other side, check it again. And we're good. Now let's do between the two posts, the resistance. It was just reading better a second ago. Hold on. Come on, clippy clippy. There we go. That's a little better. A little high, but I think we're within spec. And if I need to, I got a couple other coils sitting on the shelf that we'll swap it out with, but we're going to leave that one there and go for it. Well, got all that done for now. Coil's tested, it's good. Got the points kind of cleaned up, cap rotor cleaned up, back in place. And before I put the new spark plugs in, I want to give this thing kind of a spin test with the starter. I put it back in with one good stud and borrowed the battery out of blue, the lightning cube. But I want to spin it over a couple times just to see where we're at. Maybe we get some oil pressure up here, just to give us some spinification, if that's a word. Where'd my other battery terminal go? It was just here. That's not it. Ah, there it is. Now I can already tell there's a few pieces of wiring that need to be fixed before we can actually do a little ignition. Got one here that's missing on the bulkhead connector, and in on the dash, the ammeter is not connected, so there's no pass through, and there's actually one of the terminals is busted right off this, so I'm going to have to do just a bypass for the time being. This has got power to it for the first time in a long time, so I'm just kind of looking for any kind of smoke, sparks, stuff like that. All right. See if our terminals on the starter are clean. We're going to jump the starter relay. Nothing. But we're getting spark crossed. That's not good. All right. Oh, that may have something to do with it. That wire is wicked, just crap junk loose on that starter. Yeah, take a look here. A little wiggly. It's not really connected. Not good. All we're getting here is just sparkage. All right, take that off and pull another one out of the pile. What do we got in here? Eeny, meeny, miny, top one. Stay. Got the starter swapped out. Let's try that again. Are we going to have any turning? Good. Let's try this a few times. Ruh-roh, Raggy. We got a problem. Oh, there's the problem. Look, magic, all straight. Well, this is just temporary, obviously. Bent push rods are no joke. This would have to get completely, replaced. This is merely to test fire the engine, and this will be just enough to do that. So I'm gonna kind of back this adjuster off, if it'll let me. If it'll let me. There we go. And we're just going to put this back in place. But knowing that, this engine's going to need a bit more work to it, obviously. Now we know we had a bent push rod in number 3 intake. We're going to have to replace, we'll probably do a whole set if we had to. So you're probably wondering why I just didn't stop and check that valve first at this point. Yeah, in hindsight, I'm asking myself the same question. I should have. Before I crank that back down. It feels good. All right, let's take up the play in this again. I mean, this thing is going to have to run a little bit, drain the oil. I'll probably have to drain the oil, change it, put a filter on it, run it, and then do it again. Just because of all the debris and the rust and everything that's in here. I mean, we don't even know how long that would last, right? But get it running. It's the plan. All right, battery back on. Key. Let's see what we got. That's not moving. Nope, that just bent that push rod again. Yep. That's no bueno. I mean, it didn't even want to move that valve. Okay, hold on. I think it's hammer time. That valve is stuck. Goes down, does not want to come back up. That's what caused the push rod to bend. Let's make sure we're not pounding into the top of a piston here. Okay, we're okay there. Try and pry it up a little bit, but no, that is sticky, stuck. All the other valves are moving up and down, except for that one. Number 3 intake does not want to play nice in the sandbox today. I've been tapping and banging and prying on this valve for a while now, I got it completely compressed, and I've made sure I've spun the crank around so we're not contacting the piston. Sprayed it down with some juice. You know, I'm thinking we let this sit here for a while, let this particular valve think about its situation, determine whether or not it really wants to be part of a team again. Because right now it is not a team player. There's no I in team. There's no valve by yourself. You can't go anywhere. You need the exhaust valve anyway. Come on, get with the program. Well, 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 look who decided they finally wanted to be part of the team. Intake 3. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. All right. Got it loose. It is still a little stiff at the top, but I straightened out the push rod one more time, cranked it around by hand several times. Let's give it a few rounds with the starter, shall we? Still needs to loosen up some more, but it's better, and the push rod doesn't bend anymore, at least for now. All right, what do you think? Spark? Fuel? All right, well, this is what I did to fix the ammeter issue. The terminal was cut right off of there, so I got that just hopefully cranked on there. That might be okay-ish. We have a very quality fix going on back here that I don't know if it's good, bad, or otherwise. Got our key in, key on. Oh, that's a good sign. All right, let's go out there and do this with the screwdriver. All right. We got a little bit of fuel, fire stoppener, you know, safety 12. Let's give a little. Oh, it's way too much. Yeah, perfect. No sparky sparky. All right, apparently we have to check to see we're having a problem. Can't possibly be the ballast resistor, could it? Highly doubtful, right? Wow, that's hot. Wait a minute. I know the problem. Well, this could be one of the problems. I didn't put the ground back onto the engine. So we got no ground anywhere. Dummy. Put this in here for now. Let's see. This is crazy hot. So is that. Let me take that off the ground strap at the engine and clean it up so we get a better ground down there, because that is just hot, hot, hot. No thunder, no spark, no moss. All right, key is on. Let's do some power checks. Let's see what we got. Will you just stop getting tangled? Goodness gracious. Okay, key's still on, battery's there, and to the, okay, we got power there to the coil, good. So that means we got power to the ballast resistor. Yeah. Okay. So we should have sparkage. All right, let's grab one of our other spark plugs here. Huh. I think maybe I should clean up the cables. Yeah, that probably needs to be done. But first, let's so that goes in the coil. Just see if we can't get a little sparkitude. Nothing. All right, let's clean up those and we'll do a few more checks. Come right back. All right, gonna bring it in close here if we can try and get there. I don't think we've gotten power to the points, because when I do a spin test, I don't get any sparkage. Yeah, nothing. All right, I'm just going to take the points out because I think that's part of the problem. Coil's okay. I checked the continuity on the wire from the coil to the points. That's good. But, you know, these points have been sitting in here for a long, long time. And they're probably corroded. The connections here are probably shot. So, let's take that out. Yeah, I mean, things need to be cleaned up. Drop the screwdriver. Hate it when that happens. Hey, at least it fell all the way through. This is a foreign car, and that was a 10mm, it'd be gone. The downside of having to take the points out now is, now I gotta set them. But, you know, haven't done that in a long time. Be a good refresher course. You know what else is a good refresher course? Learning how to get that screw out without losing it. There we go. What do you think? Think those points are shot? Let's clean everything up, put it back together. The condenser looks a little funky too. Let me take that out. Well, pulled a set of points off the shelf. I think we'll put these on. They should be, adequate for stock stuff, right? Yeah, it'll get the job done. And hey, handy feeler gauge. Good to go. Ooh, pretty new performance parts. That'll make the spark mow better. All right, we have to clean up the terminals inside the cap now because them are just grungy. Boy, you'd think working on a car is set for 8 or 9 years would be easy, right? All right, let's give this one more try before we pack it in for dinner tonight. I've got new points and condenser in there, set the points gap. Yes, I used the lube because we didn't want to, avoid the warranty on the 50-year-old Mr. Gasket high performance points. Clean the grounds on the battery and attach this because that clearly needed to be there. Okay. Negative terminal on. Key is still on inside. Bring the thunder. Nothing. Let's see if we got any spark here. Anything at all. Come on. Show me the love. Yeah, I got no spark. All right. Well, I think that's hot. I need to check the wiring inside. I think that's where we're going to start when we get back to this. That's there. All right, well, no spark. Getting close to dinner time. That's enough for today. We're going to check some more wiring on the inside and just more checking on stuff. But we're getting close. It's going to fire, just a matter of when. Oh well, time for dinner. All right, we're back at it. And I decided to pull the distributor out because when I had it in the car, key on, battery on, I put the screwdriver down here like this, and it would make contact with the center shaft, I'd get a spark. But if you just move it, the points, I was getting nothing. So I'm guessing that the contacts of this plate is not making it to the housing of the distributor, which I did confirm the housing did have a ground to the body. So something in here needs to be cleaned up. I mean, it's corroded, it's sitting. You can see the stuff in here. So I'm gonna take this apart, clean it up, and see if we can't get a better ground in here so we can get some sparky here. We got the distributor taken apart, and yeah, there was no ground happening to the breaker plate. I mean, this thing is just rusty crusty. I mean, greasy is all get out. And the weights are stuck anyway. So they're not going to do anything when we get this thing rolling. So if this thing fires up, it's going to need all this stuff to be moving correctly. The vacuum advance is stiff as heck, so that's got to get cleaned up. So I didn't expect to do a distributor overhaul on this, but the car's been sitting for a while. Let's get that done, shall we? We're cleaned up and all back together again. Kind of, sort of. Taking the original one apart and trying to separate the two plates here, the clip that holds them together broke. And I was going to take the clip off of this one. I had some spare distributors here. But I decided to just take the whole breaker plate, put it in, call it done. And I used a cleaner, functioning vacuum advance. And we were able to set the points while we had it on the bench and cleaned up the wire end. It was frayed, it was kinked, it was cracked. New end on there. So let's get this back in and see if we can't get some spark. All right, distributor's back in. Battery's on, keys on. Let's do a little quick test here. Get you down in here. Oh, we got spark there. I got the coil wire grounded out down here. We got spark. Sweet. What do you think? Think it's gonna fire? Yeah, probably not. All right. Go down here. Yeah, again, way too much. Anemic. Oh, we're burning up that starter. See it smoking. Oh, that's hot. That's crank faster though. Alright, we're going to cut her off there. We'll plug in here, see if we can't get anything to happen. I've gone through and double checked all the grounds, make sure they're cleaned, because the negative cable is getting really hot and the starter was cranking really slow. Well, I swapped the starter out, and this is the beautiful thing about working on a Slant 6. The starter is so easy to change. Pop that in there and I'm getting spark, but it wasn't hot enough, so I picked up off the shelf the Super Coil Super Stock Excel. We're gonna rock that out. On. Key is on inside. As usual, way too much. Perfect. Way too much. Ka-chow! Progress! I will let it sit for a little while, put the charger on, get the battery juiced back up, putting tools away, and found me a lone wolf. This isn't a 3000, this is more like a 1500. This one's old. So we're gonna give this a shot. If not, we'll go back to the old screwdriver trick. All right, let me pop this off real quick. Throw that on. Put the charger back on. Okay, let's see what we got. Promising. Except for those. Put a little bit in. Little bit. Little bit. It wants to kick. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Battery's getting weak again. A little splash. I don't know, maybe, maybe not. All right. We gotta let the battery cook a little bit, and we'll come back to her. She wants to go. She definitely wants to fire. Well, I pulled the plugs out just to kind of let things air out, and yeah, they smelled a lot like gas. I mean, they look okay, but yeah, they smell like gas. But that's okay. What's nice is now with the plugs out, I can crank it over and it cranks fast. Check this out. I got the key off, so. Wicked good, right? So I figured since it's cranking so good, let's break out the old compression tester. Yeah, why did I do that? I had to know. Yeah, we're looking sad in the middle of the engine. It's 75 on 1, 55, 40. Number 3, as you recall, we had that problem on that intake valve, and that could be part of the problem. 4, the adjacent one, you know, this is where we had some of that rust sitting up on top of here. So we probably have a couple of stuck valves still, letting a little bit of leakage by. Could be the rings as well. We got 70 and 70 on 5 and 6. I think it's enough to fire. Once it warms up, once it pops off, the next thing I'm going to do is shut it down. Obviously, we're going to change the oil, put a filter on it, and then we can run it a little bit more. I don't want to run it with what's in it right now. It's so diluted with fuel. It's thin. It's been in there a while. There's gunk. Get some oil, get a filter, and then we'll run it, let it warm up, come to temperature, and then we'll do another compression test, see if we've improved any. I think it's going to be all right. Of course, you know, I'm the eternal optimist on everything. It's going to be all right until it's not. Oh boy. Well, this thing is just fighting us, right? So you could tell that it wants to fire. It's puffing smoke from the crankcase. So what I'm thinking is that the rings may be still stuck on the pistons. They're not sealing correctly. I mean, you saw the results of the compression test. So I'm going to put some oil in the cylinders, let it sit for a while, and see if that helps. Maybe, I'm hoping, we don't know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put the oil in the cylinders, crank it around a little bit, and then we'll do another compression test. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll just put the oil in, crank it around, and then we'll just pop the plugs back in and see if it'll fire. I don't know. Maybe we'll give that a shot. Let me get the oil in first. I'm also going to verify top dead center because I have had the distributor out a couple times just to test things. I mean, I bench tested the points with the coil, the battery, made sure that we were getting really good spark. That we have down pat. I'm going to have to double check the connection of the distributor to the block and make sure we got a good ground there. I think that's also an issue. We're not getting a great ground. So let me address those issues, put some oil in the cylinders, and we'll we'll try and fire it again. We've confirmed top dead center is correct. Distributor's in right. Firing order verified again for the umpteenth time. I did pop in, well, let me back up. The last time I had the distributor out, I went and found another set of points, not performance points, just regular old points. Cleaned them up, popped them in, checked the condenser, and bench tested it with the battery and a coil. Make sure we got great spark. That's all set. Cleaned up the tips on all the spark plug wires. Cleaned the spark plugs again. Put oil in the cylinders, and I've been running a hot wire straight to the coil from the battery. Not even doing the ignition switch, ballast resistor, nothing. I want this thing to fire. So, I'm hoping, let's try this. Okay, let's give a little starting fluid. Oh, baby. Well, it's more than we've gotten in the past. Come on! You can do it! Come on! Oh man. It's gonna go. Oh, that's hot. Come on. Let me try a little something here. We're going to run out of battery, I think. Or starting fluid. little of both. Starter's bouncing around. It's only got the one stud holding it in. Man, we're close, we're close, we're close. Come on, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. All the way down. Last chance. I think I'm going to stop for now. Got to give everything a little cool down, charge the battery up. I mean, take a look at the starter. Come on. Man, so close. Cables are hot, hot, hot. All right, well, another valiant effort for today. See what I did there? I think we got some of the corrosion issues sorted out, plugs, wires, points, coil, that's all set. It's a matter of just getting, I think, enough compression for it to fire. Putting the oil in the cylinders, I really think was what did the trick to kind of really get it to go. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're close. It really wants to pop. I'll probably pull the plugs back out, put more oil in, let it set for a few days, try it again. So, see you in a few days. Okay, today's a new day. Let's see if she wants to start today.
wants to go. So close.
All right, I'm going to try something different here. I'm going to prop this open. That's on. We do a little forced air induction. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah! Success! Finally! And the oil pump works. It just spewed a whole bunch of chocolate milk all over the place. Bloop. 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 All right. I think it's time to change the oil. It fired! Finally! Well, alrighty. Alright. Car's jacked up. And I do have a jack stand underneath here because, you know, jacking it up with flat tires on a trailer just isn't sketchy or anything. Alright? There's a lot of fluid in this engine, and I see a lot of it is the gasoline and everything I dumped into it, but it was way over full when we brought it home. And I'm pretty sure it's just frothy from all the cranking I've been doing. I mean, crankshaft is fully immersed, and there's just cavitating everything in there. So and I just tightened it up. And when you're upside down and backwards, your lefty loosey righty tighty gets inverted. Okay, please enjoy 10 minutes of oil draining on a Slant 6. Slide that over so I can get the oil filter out while it's still draining. Wow, that gasket was just shot on the filter. Okay. Still draining, but let me show you the oil filter. Yeah, I wasn't doing much of anything anymore either. Still draining. Okay, so got the oil filter out. Came out pretty easily, to be honest. Now, I don't want to see a lot of comments. I really don't, because I know there are better oil filters out there. I know. But seeing the condition of the engine itself, right now, I figured that's what we're going to put in it. Okay? I know, wicks, right? I get it. I'd put wicks in my other cars. But for this car, for now, this is what we're going to get. I mean, it can't do any worse than what was already in there. So, with fresh oil, well, you know, it'll be better. If this thing clears up a lot and runs smooth, then I'll consider doing another oil change, flushing it out, and putting a better filter on. For now, we're framming it. Okay, got the drain plug back on. That's a lot of fluid. Yeah, it's kind of viscous. Come on. Here we go. And you know, I'm out of fuel. That's it for today. I think tomorrow I'll give it one more shot. I mean, it runs. Just not great yet. And I still think it has something to do with the compression. Seeing the water that came out of the oil tells me that it's a little more going on inside there than we can see right now. But that's okay. I think we're going to leave this one here today. Try it again tomorrow. See if we can't get it to run a little bit better. Yeah, I want to see it run at least with a trickle without it having to be constantly, bottle fed. All right, see you tomorrow. Oh, good morning. Well, we're ready to get back after it again today, and I'm not sure, well, I am kind of sure. I'm not happy about it. Well, we know it'll fire off. We're pretty sure it fired off on 5 of the 6 cylinders, but it did run on fuel, which is great. It means we got all the sparks sorted out. Compression has come back up. Some of those rings have loosened up a little bit. So we need to address the fuel side of things, and I'm dreading it. That Holley carburetor is just a known bane to the existence of the Slant 6 owner. So I really don't want to pull that bowl cover off, but I have to. I have to get in there. I have to look at the needle and seats, the float. I know the accelerator pump is probably shot. I've filled the bowl a few times through the vent, and I'm not sure where the fuel went. Maybe just drained into the intake, and maybe that caused some of our hard starting issues earlier when we tried to fire it up. It was just flooded out. So yeah, I'm going to pull the fuel filter off so I can get to the bowl easier, pull that bowl cover off, and have a look inside against my better judgment after I finish my coffee. I'm going to need more coffee for this. The fuel pump is currently disconnected from the tank side, which is good, because I might try and, if we get this carburetor sorted out, I'll plug in a temporary fuel tank to that side, see if we can't get that fuel pump to pump, but only after we can get this thing running on a full carb bowl full of fuel. Ooh. It's a maraca. Okay. The fuel bowl. Okay, that loosened up nice and easy. Okay, what do you think? Is there a lot of fuel in here? Is it going to drain all over the place? Make your bets now. I'm guessing there's nothing in here. I'm guessing it all leaked out. Or I could be wrong. I was wrong. Oh, it's nasty in here. That gasket looks reusable. What do you think? It's fine. Yeah, let's slap that back on. Let's take a look in here. Well, we can see the needle is just stuck. All right, we're going to take this out. Take the, what they call it, the economizer in here. We're going to take that out, look inside, look at the the jets. I'm going to clean out all this schmutz down there and see if we can't do something about getting some fuel in here to get into the carburetor. Oh, the accelerator pump is kind of intact, I think. Yeah, all right, we got a win. All right, take a look inside here. Okay, I've got to go to the parts store and get some carb spray so we can clean all this up, spray throughout all the passages, and then we'll clean the other parts up on the bench, reassemble, and see where we're at. All right, I got everything laid out here. The plan is to take some of this stuff, put it in here, soak the parts in that, use that to blow the passages out and whatnot, and then use that to hopefully make a gasket. That's the plan. Want to know something really funny? Went to the AutoZone to pick this up. Just for ha-has, I asked them, hey, you got a carb kit for a 1966 Barracuda 225 Slant 6 with a Holley carburetor? They have one. It's just in a store a few towns over, and I'd have to order it and it'd be in tomorrow if I wanted to. But they have one. Who'd have thunk it? All right, let's get on this. I hate this carburetor. I've tried everything. I cut a new gasket. It looks right. Still leaks. You tighten the screws, you loosen the screws, you do the hokey pokey, and it leaks itself about. I'm going to put a rag under here. It'll be fine. It won't get on the exhaust much. All right, let's try this today. The carburetor's kind of rebuilt-ish. Okay. Dumping it into the bowl through the vent. It runs. Let's get a little more fuel. Oh, pop, 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 popping. Timing's probably off a tad bit. Don't know why. Put that all the way down there. So we got this. Here, gurgling in the radiator. It's not a bad thing. Gotta love that starter. All right, we're gonna stop there for that, because we've established it's gonna run. It's a runner. And I can see oil finally getting pumped up through the rocker shafts. So we are getting oil pressure to the top end of the engine now. That's good. That's very, very good. Let's see. Number 3 intake. That push rod is still push rodding. It's a little loose. So we're going to have to maybe address that in the future. But right now, that's good. It'll run. It's running. All right, one more thing I want to do. We're going to do a compression test to see if we've improved any. Results of the compression test are in, and as expected, we have improvement. Significant improvement. You know, as I did expect that the worst 2, 3, and 4 wouldn't improve as much as the others, but they still improved. And look at number 5, from 70 to 140, 70 to 130 on number 6. You know, number 1 is 110, 100. Number 3 is at 75. You know, the weakest was the come up to where the strongest was. So we've got improvement here. That's good. That's real good. Carburetor, well, I finally got, so that bowl gasket is not leaking for now. For now. So, Patina runs. At least the engine does. I got to sort out a few more things with the fuel system. I want to make sure that we blow the lines out, check on the fuel pump, and then we can check to see if we can get it to run on a tank of gas, or at least an external tank. So we have no idea what the condition of the fuel tank in this car is. I'm guessing it's rusty. Go watch my how to fix a rusty fuel tank video. Yeah, I don't want to do that again. So, I'm going to leave this one right here. That was a lot. I don't know if you could tell, but this was filmed over, on and off, over a couple of weeks. That's why it's taken so long to get this video out to you folks. So thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you. Smash the like button. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing. It's free. And I'll catch you next time.